Two.
All right, we're here for our second match here of week two. We got returning player from last week, Josh M. Not on his normal account, using a different account here because of, well, we know why. Up against Adam S. Wisma, who they both won their feature matches last week, and Josh was making his first ever feature match appearance. What's Adam's hand looking like over here?
Our hands looking like it went from 7 to 5.
Oh
Land
no!
or hand one had one land. Hand two had one land.
Oh no!
Hand three has two planes and the tap Greenland. Looks like we're putting back Rise of the Exodus and Over the Edge, so he'll be left with Guiding Voice and a Scampering Surveyor. So really nothing to do till 4.
Yeah, so we saw Adam's deck last week was a Abzan deck, and we saw Josh's deck. He played another new player. They're both league rookies last week, and he won with a his Naya deck. So his hand has a few 3-drop plays here. He has the Plundering Pirate. He has the Sunbird Standard, which is that mana rock with craft, and he has a couple of cards from everyone's favorite set, March of Machine. He has the Serpent Blade Assailant, which is the 3 mana 2/1 Death Touch with backup, and he has Cosmic Hunger, which is a green removal spell. So nice little hand here. A couple of middling creatures, a removal. He'll have to draw some action here if Adam plays creatures, but looking okay so far.
Yeah, Adam definitely got bailed out here. There was a draw into a land, a draw into a land, and then he finally hit his first non-land card, which is Necromage. So he
Okay,
does have two pieces of action for the Guiding Voice,
okay.
plus whatever land that he's going to drop, which is looking to be a cave. So he has more secret action later.
Yeah, and these creatures from Josh over here are fairly middling here. The Plundering Pirate and the Serpent Blade Assailant. They're okay curve fillers, but they're not gonna put him way ahead here, despite the mulligan on Adam's end.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how willing Adam is to trade things off this early with the lack of, I guess, any other creatures in
So
the hand.
interesting. Josh is thinking about just firing off his removal right now, the Cosmic Hunger, but I feel like with a Death Toucher in hand, there could be better targets because the Cosmic Hunger is like a not like a bite spell rather than a fight spell. So his Death Toucher can just reach out and kill anything with it. So he opted probably wisely to not use that removal there, even though he was hovering over it.
Yeah, I think it's wise to keep it for now. With Adam being down 2 cards and being on the play, you can definitely kind of just aggro him out if possible.
So is this Mom League version 3 we're seeing here?
Oh, Electric Boogaloo.
Maybe not. I mean, we had Mom League version 2 with Wilds of Eldraine as
Yeah, don't remind me. Don't remind me. That was just terrible, terrible.
I don't even think it was. I don't even think it was that enjoyable. But I knew it was the correct thing, so I just did the mom packs.
It was
Um,
enjoyable for non-players.
oh yeah, very. Um, yeah. So left in hand here for Josh is just 3 lands in the Cosmic Hunger. So not too great
Yikes.
here. We saw last week Adam had I think 2 different targets to go get on Environmental
Yeah,
Sciences
so there's reduced the memory to
and
exile target non permanent. There's really, I
yeah.
mean, like he could turn one of the fungus, I guess, into a
Well,
three
it's
two.
it's not quite exile target non-land permanent. They get a 3/2 as a replacement.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, he can turn one of his funguses into a 3/2 if he wants. But I mean, I don't know if that's really worth it. There is also an environmental sciences also. So
Yeah, and he's just gonna dump away a land here and try and find something because environmental sciences is just basically another land which he does not need. And what did he draw as a result?
baleful mastery.
Okay, so not too bad. Um, Josh has got a pretty okay play here with Sunshot Militia. He might just use the Baleful Mastery here to save his creature.
It's looking like it.
It is gonna give Josh a card with that alternate cost, and that card that he drew is quite a card. The card that he drew from that was a Cavern Stomper, which is the 6 mana 7/7 that can come down next turn.
Yeah, I saw that card all over the open this weekend.
That card's just
It's
big. It's just big. Like green in this set is very green. Like I know that sounds weird, but it's just like ramp and play giant things. Like that's what green is. That's what green does. They're very focused at doing it. They have like it's aggressive leading as well, but it's like just green big stuff is a deck, and that guy is kind of the face of it in a way.
I mean, even the Scry plus the ability on it is pretty good. This is pretty
Yeah.
nice. Hitting
Oh,
Velocidactyl. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
That's a
And
nice
they
hit.
drew a Petrify
A
for the turn.
4 mana 4/5.
This is looking like Adam all of a sudden it might be back in the game, even with the multi 5.
And we got another big green thing drawn here, the Nurturing Bristleback, which is the land cycler. 5/5, make a 3/3. So Josh has got the big dinos market cornered here.
So it seems the game is definitely coming down to the big boys.
Yeah, well, sneaking under the big boys might be a Sunshot Militia at some point. That card has performed very, very highly.
It's just so good, like chipping for damage whenever you can.
Yeah, and I mentioned it last week. Like during preview season, I saw the card and I was like, 2 mana 1/3 doesn't seem good. Like sorcery speed, why? Like just junk. Like I sort of just mentally filed it away as like a junk card, and then even just seeing it in action at the pre-release, I realized, okay, this card's actually pretty good.
Could you imagine if you do it at instant speed? Like how busted that would
Oh
be?
yeah, it would be obscene. But yeah, you just have trinkety stuff lying around. You just get to like if it's for those decks that you get your opponent to 6 and then they stonewall you with creatures. Well, this actually does the work. And if you ever get the red god, you just get to win.
Yeah, just make it 4 damage, huh?
Oh yeah.
Now I had a
I've
question
not
about the red
experienced
god.
it. I've not experienced it, but I've seen it screenshotted. So
But does the red god also count for board wipes? Because it says like whenever damage is done to your opponent. So if you like hit a creature, does that make it 4 also, or only damage to the opponent?
I think it's just to the opponent.
That's what I thought, but I'll have to relook it. I had a guy who drafted that deck on an FNM and proceeded to board wipe someone for 4. And
Oh,
I
was
was
it
like,
was it the Tectonic Hazard card?
yep.
Yeah, the 1 damage to everything.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it also dealt 4 to the board.
I would have to read the card.
I know, right?
It's
I
not
was
in play
like,
right
oh my
now,
game.
but let's see what's going on here, which is just big stuff. And comes Kutzil the Malamet Exemplar, which has been a really good performer in general. Like the white green deck has, despite looking like it wasn't really supported, it's just been good. You just play white and green creatures and you pump them and you just attack. It's just been a good deck.
Seems both players are spinning the wheels here. Oh, Jew.
Okay, that's a pathfinding Axejaw. That's a good one, and nice
Oh,
artifact there on top.
yeah. That's a way to close out a game.
The dire flail, yeah. Looks like he's not too interested in that. It's just not.
I mean,
It's not really pushing any damage through. Like the board's kind of at a board stall. Like he's drawn the Miner's Guidewing here, but there's a reach creature on the other side. So, but in a board stall like this is where you see our friend the Sunshot Militia getting some work done. And now it's down to top decking, but Josh has a craft card and a land that can put counters on something. So, but now we see Sentinel of Nameless City, just another top rare here. Don't think it's going to be able to attack in to make a map, but okay, that's a good one too.
and with this 7/7 here, it's really no attack for Adam.
I think we're settling in for a lengthy affair here potentially, short of
Yeah, I mean, something has to come off the top to change the board stakes. As it stands now, the 7/7 gives Adam no good attacks, and the Reacher doesn't really give Rickle Pick any good attacks.
yeah. Even putting counters on something doesn't really press the board. Um, did he forget that it has reach? He clicked attack.
You have to remember, Reach is hidden. It's not obvious.
He went to attack, and then he there was a momentary pause, and then he pulled it back from attacking.
I said, no, we're not gonna do this.
Yeah, well, there's a reach creature. So the card he has drawn is Dreadmaw's Ire, which is that pump spell that pumps attackers. an attacking creature, and then if it +2/+2 trample, and then if it deals combat damage to a player, you get to blow up an artifact. So not it's not blowing up any artifacts right now, but it may help to get something through at some point.
Little unfortunate that Adam milled his
Right.
removal.
We got an Abrade here, which, if he does want to use it, basically has to be at more or less sorcery speed on his turn because of the Kutzil on the other side. He cannot cast spells during opponent's turn.
So if he goes for the swing here, right? Does Adam just throw everything at it?
I imagine so.
Oh, actually, this is interesting. So the artifact when it flips, is that the one that gives something else flying, or is that a different artifact I'm thinking of?
No, it's a flying creature with power and toughness equal to the number of colors of cards that you crafted, because you could craft any amount of permanents.
I'm thinking of the one white drop that transforms into the one
Yeah,
four.
the one
Okay.
four that gives flying. So he's looks like he's just gonna
Yeah.
make a little 2/2 flyer here, I suppose. Unless he wants to exile his Guidewing. Yeah, like this card. I mean, a mana rock that can become like a 2/2 or 3/3 flyer later. Not a very great card. If it could be a 5/5 flyer, sure, but 2/2.
I mean, even if you could make it a 5/5, right? The strain on your mana is just like, eh.
I guess you played in the deck that plays the Grim Captain's Throne to try and with all the different creature types. Probably playing a bunch of
Oh,
colors.
the craft with Merfolk, Pirate, all that good stuff,
Okay,
Dinosaur.
so he is what is going on here? So he has the Abrade here. He's just going to trade his Guidewing for the Abrade, and or he's going to trade the Guidewing and the Abrade
Uh-oh.
for this 5/6.
Now here's the question: does Adam just save a 7/7 now?
I mean, he has the Dreadmaw's Ire. He can't cast both though. He can cast one or the other. I mean, taking out the 7/7. If all of the creatures in combat die, looks like Josh is going to have a better board, but Adam has two creatures in hand coming down that we know about. So he's deciding what he wants to save, and I think he's deciding it's Big Dino. I don't think he can cast. No, he can't cast the Abrade.
Yeah, if you could cast both, that would be absolutely brutal.
Nah, he couldn't. So he gives up his Guidewing, and he's gonna explore. And
Which I guess is interesting. If he never crafted, he probably he could have done both then, right?
right, so he's got a. Oh, it taps for equal to its power toughness, I believe. Okay.
Well, never mind. Josh the genius.
Okay. Got it. Understood. I have never cast that card, nor have I rarely seen it in play.
Oh, it seems we're
So,
gonna get an unstable glyph.
oh, this seems like a good board for it.
Yeah, just like that. The tides have turned once again.
Yeah, that card is just absolutely backbreakingly good. The backside of it just is totally insane.
Yeah, I can't see a world here where Adam at least doesn't go for the swing, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's casting it, so.
He was thinking about it.
Wow, if he blocks with Militia, that's actually even worse for Josh because the Militia would
He
survive
gets
the Glyph
nothing.
Bridge, and now it
Yeah.
won't. Now Josh is thinking, what? Uh-oh.
You got to be so confused seeing this. You're just like, please don't be Glyph Bridge. Please don't
Yeah,
be
that
Glyph
card,
Bridge.
it was funny. There was, I think it was Jack was playing in the Arena Open on day one. An opponent was doing absolutely nothing for turns and turns and turns. He's like, what could be in the hand? And then the Glyph Bridge came down. And then he destroyed the angel on the backside, and then a second Glyph Bridge came down.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And he was just like, yeah, I give up. Impossible. Yeah. Like that backside is just like it's so hard to beat that. Like if you're on the back foot, even at parity, that's like really hard to beat. You can either attack or cast spells. Like
Yeah.
Like, usually you need to do some combination of both in order to progress the game. Like, it just slows you down to an absolute crawl. And he's just going to craft it right away. He said, let me start attacking with this. Is a 5/3 flyer. And
Now he did draw the staggering size for turn.
+3/+3, yeah. So the
+3/+3.
dinos here, Josh has drawn a Thrill of Possibility, which is uncastable at this time.
Yuck.
So he did not have to choose whether he wanted to cast a spell or attack. His choice was taken from him.
Adam has drawn a second petrified. It's the third petrified we've seen so far.
Yeah, he did have 3 of those. I recall that from last week, having a good amount of those. So yeah, this is coming down to he needs an answer for this. Yeah, Adam says, let me not die accidentally here." So Josh has got 2 looks at a removal here, but even still, he sees there's action coming down, and he's drawn the land cycler, the white land cycler, but he's 1 mana off of casting it, the 3/5 that gains 3 life. So
It's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, that. I mean, we were having a good game, and then the glyph bridge came down, and the game was, tilted
Yeah,
towards one player, we'll say.
I gotta say, wait, like for Adam's part, coming back from a Maul to 5 with
Yeah.
3 lands, pretty good.
Yeah, Josh's start wasn't bad, but it just wasn't impactful. It was just like, a bunch of middling creatures to start off, and there just wasn't a lot of power in what he was doing. He was just sort of playing his stuff here. No sideboarding really. He only imported a few cards into the sideboard here on this alternate account. I saw through his deck. He does have a Quintorius in there, which is one of his, I guess, white cards here. That one's been been a pretty good one.
He has what, like an infinite combo or something with it?
Oh yeah, in Pioneer there's combos. Yeah, there's combos with that Geological Appraiser. Turns out Cascade is, or even a better version of it, is really strong and constructed because you can fill your deck with specific cards that you'll always hit.
What was the difference? Was Cascade before the creature didn't hit the field, where Discover the creature hits?
No. The difference is that, well, Cascade, it's just 1 less than whatever spell you cost. So like if you play a 4-drop, it's basically cascaded to 3 or less, and here it sets it at a number. But the big difference is that if you don't cast the spell with Discover, it actually goes in your hand. With Cascade, you either cast the spell or it's gone.
Well, there was some of the combo though. There was like a reasoning for the creature like hitting the field first that allows the infinite combo to happen. Whereas with Cascade, it wasn't a thing.
Yes, because Cascade is when you cast the spell, and Discover is when the is a trigger when it enters.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because the creature comes down and then it does it, so it's a target where Cascade wouldn't.
Yeah, that's also the difference. Yeah. You just discover into clones, and you just eventually get an Eldritch Evolution, which goes and finds you a bigger clone, which then eventually goes and gets the big dino that discovers, and some nonsense.
Ooh, there's a set on the other side also. Interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I know Maxime was telling me about it last week because he was playing in the Pioneer tournament this past weekend, so he was aware of its existence. So in hand here for Josh, we got Storm the Seed Core, which is that distribute 4 counters card from Marching Machine. We got a Miner's Guidewing that's currently uncastable, and an Idol of Deep King, along with lands. What's going on for Adam here?
We got 1 Forest, the Rise of Extus, the 5-drop Veteran, the Fanatical Offering, Guiding Voice, and the big old 6-drop Bird that gained 3 life.
Yeah, I believe it's a dinosaur. Let's not confuse our creature types here. This set.
Are birds not dinosaurs?
Is it a dinosaur bird? And one of the namesakes of that constructed combo deck has been left on top here for Josh, the Geological Appraiser. Just a strong card in limited. Not we're not comboing and breaking the game, but it's just a good card. 4 mana 3/2 that just drops another spell for free. Like, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, this 5/6 as of right now is going to go uncontested for quite some time. Adam really only has Rise of Exodus. It looks like a Petrify was on top of the deck, which would have answered that.
Yeah, and
But
we got an Idol of the Deep King here in hand to blow out any double blocks. That's the flash artifact that deals 2 damage. The three drop in red.
yeah, I gotta feel Adam just takes the damage, if Josh decides to attack here.
Yeah, this thing. I mean, when you read it, obviously the first time you read the card, you're like, oh yeah, that can run away with the game, and in some cases it does. Just really strong. So interesting that he might go for Geological Appraiser here pre-combat rather than leave open his trick.
Interesting.
Huh.
So does he not plan to attack? I would think he'd swing first, right? Maybe he was hoping to hit something
I mean,
different.
he had the blowout card in hand, right?
Yeah. So
Maybe
that kind of gives Adam a bit more time to find a 6 land to deal with the 5/6.
yeah, interesting that he decided to do that rather than just attack. Because if you attack and no blocks, then you just do what happened. But if they do block, you get to blow them out pretty nicely.
I've questioned Josh once. I was wrong. I won't question him again.
Well, I just didn't know. I just didn't know everything that Sunbird card did, but I think I know now.
Well, sure enough, we have 6 lands.
All
So a
right,
5/6 is no longer as much of an issue.
is it getting exiled here?
It's looking like it. Adam's currently mousing over because really there's not a lot of better options. You just really don't ever want to double block the thing with your opponent being in red green.
Yeah, yeah. Rise of Exodus here, and I mean a good card from Strixhaven. I'm not sure how well it's aged in the 2 years since we first encountered it. 6 mana sorcery, exile creatures, a little inefficient. I mean, it gets you back a card here, but the card it gets you, I mean, environmental sciences, it's fine. But
I mean, think of it like this, right? Sometimes you play the Ray in black.
I mean,
So just think of Rise as like a Ray, but draw a card, right?
yeah, I still like it. I'm just I, I think it, like I said, may not have aged amazing, but I mean, still a good card. Like I wouldn't cut it. Just
Yeah,
looking
I'm
at
curious.
it, like back in
What it's
Strixhaven, when your opponent Rise of Exodus you, like it was backbreaking a lot of the time because they were getting a lesson card. They were exiling something from the graveyard, which often mattered. And it was like, could take over a game. Here it's just like a good removal. So Josh decided what he wants to do. He's decided he's not going to cast anything, which
interesting.
also means that he's not casting anything at instant speed. So his
Yeah.
idol, he has the Idol of Deep King in hand. He has 2 Miners Guide Wings, which he needs to crack his Promising Vein in order to cast one of them, and he has that Storm the Seed Core still. Distribute 4 counters.
So I mean, Adam's got some options. He has the Captivating Cave.
Mm-hmm.
We know he has Sciences, still the Bird, aka Dinosaur, Guiding Voice, Offering, and the Veteran. Looks like he might fire off the Sciences here.
Okay, I mean just keep progressing in the game. Eventually, he'll put something on the board that we'll be able to get through, which is that dinosaur.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I might have just windmilled the 3/5. It's one with the 3/2. But I guess he really wants the Veteran out there.
Yeah, this 5/4
Interesting.
is not. I mean, it's not progressing things as well as the dinosaur miner. But he said, "Let me just hit my land drop. Let me be efficient with the turn. I can play it next turn." I think he wants to cast his Idol of the Deep King, but he's gonna discover that, no
Hmm.
pun intended, that
I
that
don't.
is not
He will
allowed.
be discovered.
The minute he moused over it in his hand, there was a little there was a little flash around Kutzil. Basically, if you didn't know, he knows now.
I wonder if he knows that Questing Beast also has an ability.
Questing Beast does not have that ability. Your opponent.
Every time I reread the card, it has new key text.
That's what I'm saying. Eventually, they're gonna make an alchemy version where if your opponent mouses over it, it gains a new line of text. So you just have to memorize what it does and never mouse over it. So apologies for the stream quality here. There's a little bit of blurriness at some points in the game, but we're still able to see what's happening. So now he has abraded during his turn, opening up 2 cast Idol of the Deep King on opponent's turn.
So
And
I mean,
these flyers, he has another Miner's Guidewing and the Storm of the Sea Core that would be looking pretty good, but we know there's a 3/5 flyer coming down, which is going to make it a little less good. Yeah, there it is. The
what
dinosaur, creature dinosaur, very clearly there.
dinosaur? I saw bird.
About that.
I'm going to ask you right now: is a flying dinosaur a bird?
I
Jeeves
mean,
says indeed.
he could have pretty happily attacked with that 3/2, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking a turn ago he probably could have swung with it, but this is fine, I guess. Fanatical offering.
Yeah, always a nice one to have. Draw the cards, make a map. Very nice. So one thing that Josh could do now is he could put 4 counters on one of the guide wings to make it a 5/5. In response, Adam could put 2 counters with his land on the sandwing to make it a 5/7. So I'm not sure how much he wants to do that. Like the captivating cave is just staring him in the face there on the other side.
Well, Adam did just draw Baleful Mastery
Oh, that works
off
too.
that offering. Yeah, along with the the Viper.
Yeah, so I mean, making a 5/5 flyer. I mean, there's not too much better to do with this turn. He's drawn Sigiled Sentinel, which is that it's a 3-mana 2/2 with backup from Mom. But like making a 5/5 in the face of the Captivating Cave, sitting there able to make a 5/7. I mean, I do think it's better than just developing a random 2/2. But it basically forces Adam to spend most of his turn using the cave.
Which I'm not sure he would do. I mean, there's a word he just Baleful Mastery as a guide wing. Not 100% sure.
Yeah, that works too. It also gets around the death trigger.
There's a world, right, where Josh could flip the flail if he has an artifact in the yard or whatever it crafts with, and
Yeah,
then sack the idol to kill the 3/5.
yeah. If his creature is still alive, yes.
Yeah.
Not sure if he has an artifact in the graveyard. Can't recall, but don't believe so.
So reduce to memory or
Well, he,
discard
he, he already he
land.
already used environmental. Yeah.
Well, he still has reduce to memory in the sideboard.
Yeah. I mean that's pretty good against an out of control flyer, but the flyers are they're under control at this time. He's just gonna baleful mastery that thing and could start attacking even.
Slam down the Viper. We'll see. He might wait one more turn. He did get Colossal Dactyl, so
Oh,
that gives him
jeez,
the
yeah.
ability to attack while being able to block.
The hits keep coming here. Yeah, so he's gonna discover again better than a random 2/2. Yeah, well, he can poke in for a couple damage here with a menace, but still not exactly what he's needing here. He's gonna move that over, yeah, to actually potentially give it some attacks. Yeah, so he's staying in the game here. I mean, he's got the life advantage, but Adam's got. You said Colossadactyl. He's got the best creature in his graveyard back in play whenever he wants it with the Viper. And
So if you're a Viper now, what might you grab from Adam's yard?
well, what does he have in there?
I really just remember the 3/2 land catcher and Kutul.
Yeah, he has those. I'm not sure. He has the 5/4 trample, I believe, as well. Could just get a 5/4 trample. And we're discovering into a petrify, so pretty nice here.
Crack the map or swing both, then play down the Colossadactyl. Let's see.
Yeah, Discover has just played out really nice for limited. Like not busted, not not like obscenely strong, but like just very, very good.
I don't know, man. When I think my opponent, only needs like 2 damage left, and they favor and a favor and a favor and a Dreadmaul's Ire, feels pretty bad.
Well, that one, I mean, if you just favor over and over, yeah, but I just found it's strong because I mean I've played with Cascade in like Chaos Drafts, Master Set, but never as like a mechanic that was on multiple cards in my deck.
It's just
All right,
crazy when it like really starts going off.
like
Oh,
here comes
okay.
the Quintorius. He needs to discover here rather than make a token. But the Quintorius is gonna get picked off here. Yeah, Quintorius came down, gained a couple life, put a mana rock into play, and he will be departing the battlefield very, very swiftly.
So it seems the draw for turn is the Swamp.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna discover. These lands are just very nice.
Oh, oh.
I think I started off a little too high on the lands, and I was taking them like probably earlier than they should go. But I feel like people are taking them later than they should go
I feel
for
like
the
pick
most part.
6 to 8 sounds about right.
Yeah, I think I was taking them a little too early.
It also depends on like how bad the pack is, right? Like if you're, I don't know, pick 3 or pick 4 is pretty bad. Like there's nothing good inside. And you have like 3 pretty busted like rares, uncommons, or commons. You probably take the land.
Yeah, it's just they're just solid. Like it's good. It triggers your descent. It puts a permanent in your graveyard as well. So like it's not just like it actually does something other than just cast a free spell. It actually also triggers one of the main things of the set. So it looks like he's got back his Kutzel here, and he wants to draw a card. Yeah, it looks like he wants to attack and draw a card, and he wants to attack the Quintorius here. And Josh has no recourse but to take it. So Quintorius is dead, and Adam draws a card. So all the good things for Adam, and much frustration on the other side.
Yeah, it's a pretty good draw. It's a the old graveyard recursion.
Another chance.
Another chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, so we've got a Serpent Blade Assailant here, which can, create a small roadblock on the ground, but like as just a small roadblock, really.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how much of a deterrent that is right now for Adam.
Yeah, I can just send in multiple creatures, so you could still probably draw a card. He has maps here to put counters on things potentially.
I mean, not to mention how much does Adam really care about trading creatures when he has another chance just to grab
Yeah,
him back?
yeah. Of note, Kutzil can only draw you maximum one card per combat. It's not every time a creature deals damage. It's just whenever one or more creatures deal damage. But yeah, Miner's Godwings gets in. He is at 6, but he has a flyer and a reach creature, so he's not really in danger of dying to the flying here.
There's a world, right, where he can get removal if Adam gets a little too brazen,
Yep.
removes whatever's in the way, and then flips the idol for lethal.
And the Sunbird Standard also has haste if he flips that one.
Did not realize it had haste. This is how little I play with that card.
I've played it 0 times. I know that. It's not because it's a bad card. I really haven't had decks that have wanted to splash. So I could like in League, this is more of a card you play. Probably in Sealed as well. Like literally day one of the Open was the only Sealed I've played in this format since my one pre-release. So like Sunbird Standard, not really a card that you're going to use in drafts very much, but we saw it do something cool last game. So let's see what he wants to get back here.
Looks like
Nothing crazy in his graveyard, but there's a couple of nice ones.
it's like a veteran and it's
Could
gonna be a
be
surveyor.
could be another Could be Viper as well. Yeah,
So
Viper.
Viper and the veteran, and then he draws a Necropolis for turn.
Another another free spell hanging around. Okay.
So I'm curious if he just swings with the 3/4 and but leaves back the flyer and the reacher.
Yeah, it could be. Um, yeah, I mean, like, is he like he realizes he's dead to one removal if he attacks
Yeah.
with both? Oh, now he's got a Petrify on top. Does he have a way to get it into his hand though? That's the question. I guess he can discover it actually.
Isn't that
with his
yeah?
land.
Right? Yeah.
He can actually discover it with his land if he sees it or wishes to. I mean, I think I would. I think I
I
just
don't think I would. I feel like
mm,
having two ways to block that 6-2 is pretty good. It's risky, but I mean, I'm it's high play. I
I feel
understand more a less risky option would just be to petrify it now, right?
I feel like it just kind of locks Josh out of most of his options. Like most of his options to win come from this flyer, right? Like his
Yeah.
options like chain removal or something, and get in with this very gigantic flyer. But looks like he's gone to combat without petrifying. So he just says, "Let me attack. Unless you block both, I draw a card." And Josh will opt to not block both. He may opt to block none, which he has. Going down to
So I guess
four here,
that's the
which
thing.
means
I
he's
have one turn, one turn.
going down to four means he's more or less out of options here. And now he can just cast the petrify because he drew it. So
Yeah.
looks like this game might be winding to its end, unless
So
there's
nothing
a
else play
glyph
the
bridge or
card.
something. Unless there's a glyph bridge on this side, which forest is not glyph bridge. So looks like we're wrapping this one up here. What can he do? He can make three blockers. He can transform the sunbird. Three blockers. That's still
Yeah, the
not
fact that
even
these two creatures
close.
have trample
I believe
is
I believe every creature is lethal. Yes,
yes.
every creature is lethal, and yeah, not quite enough. So good showing by both players, but Adam just had the tools to take over the late game. Glyph Bridge in the first game, and some nice flyers here to stabilize in the second game. So thanks to both players. Congratulations to Adam keeping his win streak alive in the feature matches, and we'll be back in a little bit for our last match of the night.